Hello students, welcome back to our lecture, and today we are going to study and discuss about the archetypes of literature written by Northrop Frye. So let's go and check out what he has mentioned in his writings. So, in literary criticism, the term archetype denotes narrative designs, pattern of actions, character types, themes, and images which recur in a wide variety of work of literature, as well as in myths, dreams, or even social rituals. So, such recurrent items are often claimed to be the result of elemental and universal patterns in the human psyche, whose effective embodiment in the literary work evokes a profound response from the attentive reader because he or she shares the psychic archetypes expressed by the author. So, an important incident of the literary theory of archetype was the treatment of myth by a group of comparative anthropologists at the Cambridge University, especially James G. Fraser, whose Golden Book in 1890 to 1950 is identified elemental patterns of myth and ritual that claim recur in the legends and ceremonials of diverse and far-flung cultures and religion. And even more incident when was the depth of psychology of Carl Jung, who's applied the term archetype to what he called primordial images, the psychic residue of repeated patterns of experience in our very ancient ancestor, which he maintained expressive myth. Him survive in the collective unconscious of the human race and or express in myth, religion, and dreams and private fantasies as well as in the work of literature. So, Northrop Frye, working in the field of literature, define as archetype as a symbol, usually an image which recurs often enough in literature to be recognizable as an element of one's literary experience as a whole. So, another way of thinking about the archetypes is to imagine in some way it is possible to plot the important aspect of a story or onto a graph. If enough points from several stories were plotted, a pattern would start to appear. And if one then drew a line that approximated the pattern that emerged in the point that best fit line would be an archetype. So no story perfectly matches the archetype, and some story will diverge from the archetype more than other. Still recognizes that a pattern exists can be a powerful tool in understanding and comparing literature. So Northrop Frye asserts that all narratives fall into one of four mythos. Each mythos has six phases, sharing three with the preceding mythos and three with the succeeding mythos. So here is the diagram of mythos grid, which he has mentioned: summer, autumn, winter, and spring. That has been developed into a story or a plot. So this is the diagram. So let's check out some important part of a story, like in a tragedy or a drama. So one part is comedy, which is aligned with the spring because the genre of comedy is characterized by the birth of a hero, revival, and resurrection. Also, spring symbolizes the defeat of winter and darkness. And in second part, romance and summer are paired together because summer is the culmination of a life in the seasonal calendar, and the romance genre culminates with some sort of triumph, usually a marriage. And autumn is the dying stage of the seasonal calendar, which parallels the tragedy genre because it is above all known for the fall or demise of the protagonist. And satire is metonymized with the winter on the grounds that satire is a dark genre. Satire is a disillusion and mocking form of a three other genre. It is noted for its darkness, dissolution, and the return of chaos and the defeat of the heroic figure. So, in context of the genre, it determines how a symbol or image is to be interpreted. Fire outlines five different spheres in his schema: human, animal, vegetation, mineral, and water. So, the comic human world is the representative of a wish fulfillment and being community centered. So, in contrast with the tragic human world is of isolation, tyranny, and the fallen hero. So, animals in the comedic genre are docile and pastoral, like sheep, while animals in the predatory and hunters in the tragic, like wolves. So, for the realm of vegetation, the comedy is again pastoral, but also represented by gardens, park, roses, and lotuses. As for the tragic, vegetation is of wild forest or being barren. So cities, temples, or precious stones represent the comedic mineral realm, and the tragic mineral realm is noted for being a desert ruin or of sinister geometrical images. And lastly, the water realm is represented by the rivers in the comedic, with the tragic and seas and especially floods signifies the water spare. So there is some methodology he has shown like inductive and deductive method from particular to general, like grave digger scene in Hamlet, or deductive method from music or painting from general to particular. So some arts movie in time like music, other art presented in space like painting, and in both cases the organizing principle is recurrence, which is called a rhythm when it is temporal and pattern when it is spatial. Thus we speak of the rhythm of music and the pattern of painting, but later to show off sophistication we may begin to speak of the rhythm of painting and the pattern of music. So this is like a gravedigger scene in which Hamlet, from time frame, it has been showing 16 minutes, and Ponce's Soliloquy of Dance Macabre. It shows rain of images of corruption and decay, psychological relationships, and in genre Elizabethan play with sensational and melodrama scene and it shows a glimpse of an archetype like life stood. So life stood and life stood like life loved or death. German means a hero who is ready to sacrifice life and embrace death for a beloved. So literature seems to be intermediate between music and painting. Means literature words from rhythm which are approach like a musical sequence of sounds. So at one of its boundaries from patterns which approach the hieroglyphic or pictorial images at the other. Like just look at this the dawn, spring, and birth phase, like myth of the birth of the hero, revival, and resurrection of creation. And because the four phases are a cycle of a defeat, of a power, of darkness, winter, and death. So subordinate characters like father and the mother. So the archetype of romance and of the most dithyrambic and rhapsodic poetry. And second, like zenith, summer, and the mirage marriage or triumph phase, like myths of apotheosis of the scared marriage and of entering into paradise. So subordinate characters like in the companion and the bride. So archetype of comedy is pastoral and idyll. Like and third one is like the sunset, autumn, and the death phase. So myths of fall, of the dying god, of fall and death and sacrifice, and of the isolation of hero. So this sequences show the scenic view of the element of the story or storyline, and that what characters are showing in each of the storyline. So I have taken a reference of a scene from Hindi scene Aakhri Rasta. So it's a graveyard scene in which Amitabh Bachchan holds the candle. So it is the main plot and it changes the storyline like and storyline. And the second one is from Satyam Shivam Sundaram, in which the people are moving away in the raining. So this is the passage of the story and the basic of archetypes. What is the changes in the scene and as well as in the storyline. So, no story perfectly matches the archetype, and some story will diverge from the archetype more than other. So, still recognizing that a pattern exists can be a powerful tool in understanding and comparing literature. So, I hope you understand the viewpoints in the archetype of literature, how Northrop Frye has mentioned, and what are the he has put on the elements in basic in making the literature or the drama or some story. So I hope you like the lecture. I explain you in easiest as well as in easiest way. So I hope you like it, and if you like it, so do comment, share, and subscribe my channel. And I will present further more videos in future. Thank you.